Good Friday morning, everyone. Welcome back. You're watching the Kaiser Report one more time. And today we're going to bring you some news that took place around the world through the week. And then, of course, at the end, we'll have a visit to Stupid Town and maybe something to hold you over for the weekend at the end of this broadcast. Something a little funny and a change of all of the doom and gloom that media will tell you all week long to get you to not enjoy your weekend that's coming up. And we urge you to do everything against that and go out and have a wonderful weekend. So the big news across the world today is that Cardinal Robert Prevost has been elected the new pope, and he will be now Leo the 14th, and the world is very happy about this appointment due to the fact that he is the first American pope that will be holding the pontiff position there in Rome in the Vatican for the next number of years. It was a very rapid decision on the cardinal's parts to get this thing out in a record time of only a couple of days, where in some cases takes a much longer time for them to make a decision. But everyone has a great amount of hope, and let's give you a little look at what was going on in Rome just a short few hours in the past. Take a look here.
Very special moment.
Very special moment.
And here he is. There he is, Cardinal.
And the applause going up, the greeting, the waving,
big
the
smiles. How amazing.
How amazing.
And Dr. Liz Love was also talking about the symbolism of the red that he's wearing. You know, it is a sacrificial role, and that is the symbol of the cloth that he's wearing right now.
And we see this beautiful close-up view from the side there at the same level as the loggia. Pope Leo the 14th.
Pope Leo the 14th.
Amazing. Smiling.
A smiling
and
Pope, yes.
You can see who wouldn't be taken by the moment. And
I think going through his mind, you know, the weight of this responsibility.
Oh, yeah. You can see it on his face.
You can see it on his face.
Amazing.
After this, you're never the same person.
No.
And we're hearing the bands below, the mutual salute of the anthems, the hymns, Vatican hymn and the Italian national anthem, as we do traditionally at the Easter and Christmas, as we've mentioned.
And after this, now Pope Leo the 14th, he will give a greeting and impart his first apostolic blessing, the Urbi et Orbi, to the city and to the whole world.
So that blessing extends to everyone who is watching, everyone who is listening, your family, wherever you are.
Mm-hmm. It's a wonderful thing that we do have now a new pope and a new renewal, not only in the Catholic faith, but more people are coming back to the Catholic faith that have departed over the years due to a lot of different reasons. The departure from the Latin Mass of people my age that remember having to say the Mass in Latin, and as a past altar boy, I can tell you that I had to learn all of the prayers that were said on the altar for everything from act of contrition to the communion celebration. So that lost a lot of people that were in and around my age or older, and the disappointment to bring in the guitar-playing hippies that pushed a lot of people away from going to Mass, the fact they turned the altar around, the fact that there were more lay people acting like priests and the like. And then, of course, the nuns that were a major force in teaching people from the grade school level and in some cases right up to college started to disappear. The nuns dropped the habits and started to wear street clothing. And a lot of people were turned off and away by that, which probably should not have been, but that was the case. But now there is a resurgence in religion, not just the Catholicism, but other religions that people are coming back to. We suffered a generation of people that decided not to be joiners. They didn't join the country clubs. They didn't join the churches. They didn't join religious sects, and steered clear of that for whatever reasons they had. I'm sure they were all good reasons, but God is back, not only here in the United States, but worldwide. And if you had just a second that you just saw the amount of people that were crowded into the Vatican Square to hear the first words of the new Pope, and the fact that he studied at Villanova University, and the fact that he was living in Chicago for a short period of time and then went down to South America to preach and help people. I believe, based on all of what I've read, he's a very kind and thoughtful individual, and we're praying every day for his success. And we would also ask you to pray, and all praise, honor, and glory go to Jesus Christ, which is now his boss, and we pray to him for the success of this Pope and the success for peace to one more time blanket the world that is in a little bit of an upheaval right now. So that'll move us on to the yesterday's news, I guess, and some of the things that are going around the internet today, and in several genres around these platforms about well, he's back, folks. He's back, and he decided to go to The View for his reclamation of his own legacy in his mind, or what's left of it. And then he brings along Jill to make sure that he didn't make too many mistakes. It started out on The View where you didn't see Jill. He was there with the ladies of The View. And when he started to mumble and stumble and be incoherent, Jill appears and was brought out to finish answering the question about the books that are being written and the like, because he wasn't giving them an answer other than, it's not true. And then she says these people that wrote the books were never in the White House. Their jobs were in the White House. I don't know what the hell she was thinking, but it's not the truth. And Joe has spun several more lies there on The View. So let's just take a quick peek at Joe's return. Take a look here.
Hey, goodbye, Joe. We had a good run. Oh, nice. Good job. But now I must be.
Just pay your taxes.
That's right. That's right.
No. So, I'm not joking. Average billionaire in America pays 8.2%.
That's it?
Must be
Eight,
nice.
period.
Wow.
No, I'm not joking.
Yeah, we know.
How do you lead the world without having the best infrastructure in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best healthcare in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best education system in the world? How do you lead the world when you don't have that done? Why is he doing that? What possible reason is that? We're still the greatest country in the history of the world. Period. Not a joke. And there's nothing beyond our capacity if we do it. Nothing. Not a single thing. You got to remember who the hell we are.
So tired of you getting angry and yelling all the time.
Joe, stop. You're embarrassing yourself.
So it's funny to some of us, and it's funny to some of the late night stuff like what took place last night on Gutfield talking about it. But it's really not funny. Decline in mental abilities and cognitive abilities are happening across most of our lives. We have witnessed, in some cases, the decline of individuals that we may have loved or known in the past to be very sharp individuals that have, through the years, lessened in their cognitive abilities due to age and due to, in some cases, diseases, and in some cases brought on by the wrong foods and so on and so on. There are many reasons for this. But to try to be pushed into a job that is, number one, the most stressful job in the world. I know that our current president makes it look easy because he works 18 hours a day, but we all know that the cognitive decline in the Biden administration was ever present and evident to us, but being covered up by the people, the bureaucrats in the White House, and the media that told us for all along that he was the sharpest knife in the drawer and that he worked all the time. And then Jill comes out and repeats that yesterday, which we know now, given the fact that so many people have came out now and talked about this, we know that that was not the case. But God bless him. I feel myself very bad for him right now. My heart goes out to him because here's a man that may have been nasty for his years in Congress and the Senate and the presidency. He's not a nice person, so I'm told. But you don't do this to an individual that is suffering through. It's time for him to really go back to the beach and take that beach chair and enjoy the rest of his life. Why they're putting him out on these shows and why they're making an issue one more time over his cognitive decline, I believe is being driven by the lessicants that are lining up for the Democratic ticket so they can blame everything on him, like he in turn blames everything on Trump, COVID, and an insurrection that never really took place. It was not an insurrection. It was a one-day thing. If you want to talk about an insurrection, let's talk about the amount of people that were let through our open, porous borders for his entire administration, and all of the riots that took place after the George Floyd incident and so on, that really marked for him the disgrace that was the Biden-Harris administration. With the rise of Antifa, the Democratic Party used Antifa and Black Lives Matter because they thought it was going to be a larger stepping stone for them to win more elections and prove that all Republicans and anyone that had a MAGA idea were bad people. And that's not exactly what happened, is it? And now we have the socialistic part of the Democratic Party that are running around, rallying again with socialistic ideas, trying to make them more relevant than the old guard of the Democratic Party appeared to be. And now we have people like AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Pothole Pete Buttigieg, and Hakeem Jeffries that are going to take a socialistic type of propaganda, utilizing the media one more time to drive these ideals home, which make no sense. But you just listen to Bernie for a few minutes on an interview that he gave with Bret Baier, and you'll quickly see that what applies to us does not apply to him and his minions that are running a campaign already for 2028 in the midterm elections very early to get their points across. And someone is funding the ideas that and these travel arrangements for these people. But let's just take a look at a clip here that will explain what's good for you is not necessarily holding for these people at all. They have their own privileges. These are the Democratic elites now. Or, in their own words, maybe they are the oligarchs, that they don't understand what oligarch really means in their vernacular. But take a look right here.
How can I get by on one house? I need 5 houses.
I own 3 residences. Yeah, I do.
I need jet planes to take me all over the world.
Think I'm going to be sitting on a waiting line at United? That's the only way you can get around. No apologies for that.
Sorry, the American people. We've got the money. We've got the power.
Guess what? I'm a United States Senator. That's the only way you can get around. No apologies for that.
We have a new pope, finally. And it looks like that's right. I can't believe it. Donald J. Trump.
So what's good for the goose is not good for the gander, and we have partners in the media that are right behind Bernie and think it's perfectly okay. But and then to utilize the term that have you ever seen Trump at National Airport? Does he not realize that through the entire campaign that was run by the Trump party or the elector, he has his own plane, and it's a quite nice airplane, but he owns it, and he pays for it. Who paid for yours, Bernie? So that brings us to the Politico interview that took place recently with our friend Nancy, the very rich Pelosi, rich on the back of insider trading that's being looked into, and that has to place a little fear in her little mind. But I think she showed up sauced up again for this interview, and it was wow. Because you cannot believe this mess and the stick that stirred it up. Take a look right here.
Elvis Presley is alive.
She's drunk and evil.
Nancy the Nipper, she's ruthless and sly, with her dentures rattling and a gleam in her eye. She kicked Joe out with her old friend Chuck. Nancy the Nipper, she don't give up.
Any peace agreement between, any negotiation between Putin and Zelensky, between Russia and And Ukraine would have to have Ukraine at the table.
What the hell is she talking about?
And they're saying they're not giving up Crimea.
Where the hell is that?
The Arctic is. When we were there, they told us. Now, this is again, 13 years ago or something.
What the hell is she talking about?
I actually was saying this at an earlier speech or presentation that for the conference, that we were fighting them because we had lack of market access.
The sun will come out.
Tomorrow, the 7th, the 8th of May.
She's a drunk.
How do you show up for an interview that blasted? I don't know. But that brings us to a lot of what's going on inside the Democratic Party with the lying, the cheating, the singing in the streets, the acting like jackasses. And it's just incredible at what they would try to convince you while you're watching the 100 days of winning out of this particular administration, how they can think that it's not going well and convince you that the prices aren't going down. In some cases, when you go shopping on a weekly basis, you'll see that the prices of eggs and the prices of gasoline are going down, and other products that are being fear-mongered right now over shortages, and you being told that the ports are going to have to lay off truck drivers because the ships aren't showing up. The ships aren't showing up because there is a sword fight going on right now between China and our president, and we'll see what the outcome of it is. But we have two individuals that decided in China to turn the ships back around and keep the products on board and not bring them in. But then again, when you think about the port situation as it exists under Buttigieg, Pothole Pete, when he was running things, he let the unions get their way and charge everything more coming in at that point to pay the big pay raises that they have and the automation processes that went into the West Coast side, and then the East Coast goes on strike, which he who knows where he was when all of that was going on, because they don't want automation there. They want to keep paying longshoremen and stevedores an exorbitant amount of cash to continue to unload these ships, and this is taking place on the East Coast. So this all happened under Pothole Pete, who had no idea what he was doing, or about train derailments in Ohio, or about the FAA, which he knew was a problem. He told the incoming Duffy that it may be a problem, but they never addressed any of this through the entire Biden-Harris administration. So, you know, it is what it is right now, and it is a little bit of a belt tightening, and maybe we won't have as many cheap Chinese goods, toasters that don't work, washing machines that don't last more than 2 years, dishwashers you can't get 2 years out of, and all of these products that are being made in China cheaply and brought over here. Maybe we have to decide it's time to bring quality manufacturing back to our shores and stop supporting a communistic government that does nothing for their people except use them, all while we are the biggest buyers for what they are purveying out in the marketplace that are junk. Look at your TV commercials, what they advertise through Bulbhead and all this other crap that they're getting money from you. So if we have less of that, so what? We need to get back to making our own. Bring back the Tonka manufacturing for toys. It was a beautiful facility in Lake Minnetonka, Minnesota at one time for Tonka toys. And some of us that are old enough to remember the good metal Tonka toy trucks and things of that nature are still usable. You buy one today, it's cheap plastic crap that no one needs, and you certainly don't need 9 of them. And all of the flap that's going on mainstream media telling you that, oh, Trump said you don't need $9, you need 2. That's not what he was talking about. What he was talking about is you want to buy something for your child that's going to last, and you only buy one. If you buy something that doesn't last, like these machines I just discussed with you, you're replacing it 2 years, and by the time your lifespan is over, you've probably bought that 9 times. So why buy cheap crap from another country because you're going to save a couple of dollars on a product? Buy a product that lasts you a lifetime. That's what you need to be looking forward to, and that's the vision that our president has. It has nothing to do with a child not getting $9. Please, put on your thinking caps and utilize the brain that our beautiful God gave us, and spend some time in reflection before you open your yap. Put your brain in gear before engaging the accelerator, and then you'll be a lot better off. And that goes for you, mainstream media, that are spreading the propaganda and lies across this nation, trying to convince a majority of the population of something that is not true. Spend your time reporting what is good. Spend your time reporting about the increase in religion. Spend your time reporting about a better education that is on the horizon rather than the indoctrination that has been pushed down our throats for the last 2 decades. Spend your time talking about that, not what's wrong with an administration or a person or an ideology that you want to make mainstream that should not be anywhere near mainstream. And then you'll have media that people can tune into and trust one more time, because we don't have that now. So that brings us to a little bit of a walk through Stupid Town here one more time. So I'll have a video here for you in a minute, but it's incredible on what we see going on with the likes of Nancy Pelosi and some of the old guard that is vying to stay viable inside the Democratic Party, that has lost its conventional mind over this last election and just has a extreme problem in latching on to the fact that things are not bad. They're getting better. They're increasingly getting better every day that we wake up and find a new reason to have hope in what's coming. And that is the rebirth of the Republic of the United States of America, here and in the world's eyes. So with that, let's take a visit here to Stupid Town.
one fell swoop. You pushed my mental health over the line. Now, fucking die.
You chose poorly.
We accept your terms. Please proceed.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
You're amazing!
Oh, God, I think you're amazing.
Oh my God, don't ever leave me.
Ever.
Good. Because I'd find you.
We don't articulate as Black women our pain because it's almost like nobody ever gave us permission to do that. We don't articulate as Black women our pain because it's almost like nobody ever gave us permission to do that.
Well, that was some visit. Now I have a little something for your funny bone to embark on a beautiful weekend with. So let's listen right here.
There's a fellow walking into a bar, and standing outside is a nun. And she looks at him and she says, "Before you enter this den of iniquity, think of your mother and your father." He said, "They're dead." They're dead in heaven. She said, "Well, think of the damage the alcohol is going to do to your brain." What? What are you talking about? Have you ever had a drink? And the nun says, "No." He said, "Well, how the hell can you stand there talking about it and saying drink is going to do damage to your brain if you've never had it?" I'll tell you what, I'll go in, get your drink, bring it out, give it to you, you drink it. If you don't like it, then you can talk about it. But don't talk about things you've never experienced. What'll you have? And the nun says, "I don't know." "What do ladies generally drink?" He says, "Gin." She says, "All right, I'll have a gin. But get it in a cup so nobody will notice." The fellow goes into the bar and he says, "Give us a pint of beer and a double gin in a cup." And the fellow says, "Is that bloody nun out there again?"
Well, with that, we're going to wish you the very happiest and blessed weekend that you're facing right now. Go out, enjoy the weather, look at God's beautiful earth, put your feet in it, put your hands in that earth, and reflect on the goodness of this nation and what it has to offer all of us. Every person, regardless of race, creed, or whatever, we're all God's children. So pray every day for this administration and pray every day for peace across the world. We have a new pope. Pray to God that he does the right thing for not only the rock of his church, but for all mankind through the years that he sits as the pontiff. And with that, we're going to say to you, stay safe, stay strong, and stay tuned to the Kaiser Report. We'll be back here to you on Monday morning with the new Kaiser Report. Until then, God bless. Bye-bye now.
Lazy J Farms has been raising the finest cattle and all-natural pork for 3 generations on the family farm in Fall Branch. Their blonde Aquitaine herd offers a leaner, healthier, and more tasteful beef. And the butcher shop is local, farm to table, and 100% authentic. This is the way your grandfather shot for me, with steaks cut to order, quality assured, and ready to ship to your door. Open Thursday through Saturday on Bloomingdale Road in Kingsport. Come see us.